Today I'm kind of doing a little spin-off on a Euro mount for deer skull. Some of the footage that I had recorded after deer season got scrubbed. Some of the footage that I had was bad. Some of the footage that I had got erased. Some of the footage that I had, for some reason, my GoPros filmed it in fast forward or speed mode. No idea. All the pressure washing that I did, the bleaching process that I did, I do have some footage on that, and I'll show you here in a minute. But step one is, if you do have a skull and it's frozen, that's coming to you, or it's your own personal skull, this is what I want you to do. Go ahead and thaw it out for 24 hours. Thaw it out completely for 24 hours. And if it comes to you fresh, go ahead and start working on it. Do not sit off to the side and let it start rotting. That's one of the worst things you can do for the skulls. You start getting discoloration, and it just stinks. So once that skull starts decomposing, or the brain starts decomposing, it's a nasty thing to have. So go ahead and cut into it. You're going to need a couple good knives to go ahead and start skinning it. Be careful with the skull, because if it still has the flesh on it, it's very, very, very easy to cut into that bone. So be careful. But you know, if it happens, it's happened to me. I've done dozens of Euro skull mounts, and I actually have nicked the skull a few times. So don't worry about it. You can use, once it dries, you can use 220, 420 grit, 440 grit, fine sandpaper, and kind of buff it out. So it's no big deal, guys. Just don't gouge into it, don't chip it out. Once you get all the meat off, go ahead and get yourself, go outside real quick. Go ahead and get yourself, if you don't have already, get yourself a, you know what that is, it's a turkey fryer, a good pan. Okay, you want a large enough pot that that skull will sit in. If you need a piece of wood to kind of prop the horns up in the water, that's fine. You need a full tank of propane. It's not going to take a full tank, but that's what you're going to need. What I would recommend doing is boil it for about an hour, hour and a half. If you overboil it, this is a caution, if you overboil it, the nasal cavity will get real soft. All the junctions and the different kind of bones will get soft and brittle, and they will fall apart once you start pressure washing. Okay? So an hour, pull it out, see how the flesh is doing. If it's starting to come off or peel a little bit, that's perfect. They start to discolor like it's a cooked, like a cooked texture to it. You're almost getting there. Put it back in for another half hour, and then pull it immediately out. Okay? Once you pull it out, you have your pressure washer standing by. This is 2500 psi. I actually got this from Harbor Freight. If you have a Harbor Freight or a Lowe's nearby, that's great. Go ahead and pick yourself up one. You don't need a super duper duper, you know, high pressured pressure washer. Okay, I use this one right here. If you can read that, the narrow spray, the 15-degree narrow spray, or you can use the medium spray, the 25-degree angle. Okay, you don't want to hold it slam on the skull to try to get everything off. You want to hold it back about a foot, foot and a half. Start peeling stuff away. Once you start getting a little bit more comfortable, especially around the horns, you do not want to spray the horns. Okay. You want to kind of just work yourself around it. If it's still flesh that's attached to it, use your knife and start scraping that flesh away. Get a pair of pliers and pull it off. Okay. Once you get done with your first initial pressure wash, you got most of that stuff out. You can go back to your tank and start boiling it again for about another half hour. Try to soften the rest of the stuff up. Then repeat the process back into your pressure washing. You want to get that stuff thoroughly clean. You want to get everything off, every nick and cranny, the brain, you want to get it all out, okay? Or else you're going to get a really nasty stink. Hey folks, how you doing? Today we're going to kind of go step by step through what I do with the Euro skull mounts. Pretty simple process. Anybody can do it. There's tons of YouTube videos out there that can show you how to do it. If you want to save money, some good people out there, you can charge up to $250, $300 for a skull mount, and I want to kind of show you the easy and simple way to do it, and that I've been doing for years. They turn out really nice. So I want to do the best I can with some footage. It's a little bit windy and sunny out, so here we go. It's the best I can do for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Go back, go through our videos over here at Fifth Row Outdoors. Hit the like and subscribe button if you like. Support us. Follow along. We're just a family and friends hunting channel, so nothing big, nothing spectacular, no sponsors. So a couple things you're going to need that I like to do is, first step, I like to freeze the heads. This is shot back in December. It's been in my cooler, and that's step one. And then you just let it thaw out. There's an old tick right there. They can't handle that frozen stuff. But get yourself some cardboard, put it down. You need a couple good knives. An old hunting knife, an old Remington hunting knife that I use, and I use also a fillet knife as well. And I picked up a new sharpener. These are really nice to have on hand. I'd recommend using some gloves. Brandon Mills, the co-host, he is actually going to be bringing over 2 deer heads, and I'm going to start on his as well. So hopefully I can get all this done this weekend. And so just follow along. Hope you all enjoy. First thing I like to do is go ahead and cut around the ears right here, or the horns on top, and cut a slit down the top of the skull right there. Cut around these horns, and then I'll start peeling back, start cutting away. Oh, sounds like we have some company. Who this?
What's up?
Oh, look at that.
Nice one too.
Let's put him up here on top, give him the sun. I'll move this one all the way. Yeah, you can tell this one right here, he's just not wanting to thaw. Break them open. You had those caped, right?
Well, this one here, I just cut the head off of it. It's been in the freezer for a while. That other one was caped.
Wow, look at the head on that. That one was shot this year too? Or that last year's?
That was
Or 2 years ago?
before last.
Year before last?
I'm shooting a bit blood everywhere.
I don't care.
sitting right on top. Let him thaw out. Is that real pretty six that he got on camera? Yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll make him look good. That's gonna look real pretty.
That one there looked huge when he was running away from him.
Let me get mine up. Be real careful around the orbital bone. Okay, try not to cut in. Try to cut this way. Okay, it'll keep you from scratching. At this state, these skulls are very soft. So you really want to make sure you're not cutting into the skin or the skull. Okay? That's why I like using a round edge and not so much a pointy edge, because that right there will dig in more so than a regular knife will. Okay? If you're scared of cutting your fingers, you can grab some needle nose pliers or some channel locks or something like that. It'll help. Remember guys, you don't have to be exactly perfect. Just got to make sure you don't cut the skull, and I'll show you why. If you notice, when I was coming in with a sharp tip like that on the angle, you can cut these soft skulls. Okay? You can blend that out with a little bit of sandpaper. But if you're working on somebody else's, like Brandon's here, I'm not going to be using that knife. Okay? Use more of a round tip where you can kind of go in. Okay? I should have known better. I've done these. I've done tons of these, and I should have known better. But that right there is a good learning experience for you guys. If you're watching, watch your angles. Watch the contours. You can see there's a lot of still tissue on here, some muscle. I ain't worried about that because we're going to be boiling it and pressure washing it, okay? So it does not have to be perfect. Okay. There you go. After you get all your skin off, like I said, you'll see a bunch of tissues and everything. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about all this up here. It'll all come off when you start boiling it. Tongue, everything like that. I mean, you can get in here if you want. Go in here. It all depends if you want to keep that bottom jaw, bottom mandible. But some guys go in here to a pre-cut. You know what I mean? They'll rip it off. A lot of times it's hasn't been frozen yet. When you get to this point, if it hasn't been frozen, it's like a day after the kill or that day of, or if it's completely thawed, you can rip bottom mandible off. Morning, everybody. It is Sunday, and yesterday I showed you guys the beginning step of doing the Euro skull mounts, and the next morning it's pretty chilly out, but I let them sit overnight. There they are. It is day 2 of the Euro skull mounts. Beginner guide, that's what I like to call this. Just like I said, just showing you guys all the basics. So here's the first skull. You can kind of see all that stuff peeling off. Alright, once you get done pressure washing, it is completely clean. You got all the flesh off, everything is off, all the little fibers, everything. Once your skull is completely clean, get yourself some of these. Okay? Get yourself some of these. This is the best product that I've actually used. I've used a lot of different chemicals, I've used a lot of different products. That is actually the best product that I've actually used. Put that in your turkey fryer, heat it up, put your skull back in there, let it go for about 30 minutes. It helps kind of take some of that smell away. Helps kind of clean it because your skull is very porous. Okay, it's going to help pull some of that stuff out of the skull. Okay, some of that stink. So I would highly recommend picking up some of these Tide Pods. That's what I would recommend. Right there. There's a lot of guys out there doing videos. They'll tell you to use, you know, different chemicals, different products. If that works for you, go ahead. Whatever works for you, whatever gets it the cleanest for you, use it. Okay? This is what works for me. And this is what this video is about. It's for beginners. Like I said, I've done dozens of skulls, and this is what has worked best for me. So, take it as it is. Okay, next step. Alright folks, so once you got done cutting the meat off your deer, boiling it, pressure washing it, cleaning it up real good, here comes the fun part. This is the bleaching process. So, it's quite simple. Only thing you're going to really need is aluminum baking sheet. Okay? And just go to any kind of beauty supply and get 40 volume cream developer and one application brush. Okay? That's all you need. And I'm going to sit you down real quick and see how this is. Like I said, it's a very easy process. It takes a little while, so go ahead and put an application down, and you can walk away after that. So You just pour it right on top. Watch the horns. And after you pour it on, some people will actually take and wrap the horns. That's a good practice to have. But I've been doing this enough to kind of know what I'm doing here. Just spread it around. You know what I'm saying? Just get it in here. Get it all over the place. Okay? And just repeat. You know, it would be in the bottom of the pan. Just kind of repeat. Once you get this top done, you can just tip it up. You can pour it right down the nasal cavity. Pour it inside the eyes. Pour it underneath. So that's it. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll show you what we do next after that. Here it is finished. And the customer will be pretty happy with that. Very simple to do, guys. Like I said, when you first get your deer, if it's frozen, thaw it out for 24 hours before you start cutting the hide off. Give yourself a few different types of knives, and that way you can get the hide off real good. Use a pair of pliers, and once you get all the hide and everything off, most of the meat off, then go ahead and pressure wash it. I have a 2500 psi. You don't need that much. If you have a 25 psi, use the 15 degree flat angle medium. It works just fine. And hold it about this far away. Wrap the horns up, that way you don't discolor the horns. You want to take away the character. Once you get it pressure washed, you know, you can go back in for another boil if you need to take some more off. Pressure wash, boil, pressure wash, boil. Okay. After you get that all done, let it dry for 24 hours. Like I showed you guys earlier with the Tide Pods, that works best for me. Get some of the odor out of the deer skull, and plus it cleans it up real nice. So this one turned out pretty good. I think the customer will be pretty happy with it. All I need to do now is put the finishing touch on to hang it, which I'll do real quick to show you guys. Like I said, all I use is wire, and I'll just go through. You don't have to hear that.
And that's it. That way you can have something to hang it with in the back right here. And there it is. That's how you do a Euro mount, guys. It's that simple. Like I said, I use cedar. You can use oak, maple, whatever you want. I like to use the cedar because it has a lot of character to it. I love the color. And so far, the several dozen that I have done, all of the customers like to use the cedar. It has a lot of good character. Some of the people out west who brought me horns, they actually like it because they've actually shot their deer out of what's called a cedar bowl, where there's a bunch of cedar trees in these little valleys and gully areas, and the bucks like to roam through those looking for does, and they like to rub cedar trees. So that's another reason why a lot of people like to use cedar. And down here in North Carolina, eastern North Carolina, we have an abundance of cedar. So I have tons of cedar back there, and I make plaques and things of that nature. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you choose, and leave a comment. Like I said, this is just for beginners. It's not for advanced guys. I'm gonna probably this fall, after I shoot another buck, I'm gonna do an advanced video going through step by step. I plan on buying a new camera. That way I don't lose any footage, and the quality of the footage is actually better. So I'm probably gonna have my co-hosts come out and film me while I do it. That way not everything's stationary. So that's what I like to do, guys. It turns out pretty nice. I'm happy with it, and just create some memories, guys. This is what we go out here and deer hunt for. It's for our friends, it's for our family, providing meat, and just get out in God's great glory, out in the woods, and I have complete reverence for these animals, complete respect for them, and that's why I like to preserve them and do what I do with these things, because these animals are remarkable. They have so much character, and they provide meat year-round for our family. So, thanks a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and always remember, God, family, and the great outdoors. And I'll see you.